Hi, welcome. For this video you're going to need a chunky weight yarn and a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook. You will also be needing 8 millimeter safety eyes, a little bit of stuffing, a pair of scissors and a yarn needle. So we are going to start off by making a slip knot, and you can make the slip knot however you're comfortable making it. And then we are going to chain up 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Into the second chain from the hook, you're going to make a single crochet, and then you're going to make a single crochet in each stitch all the way to the end, and you're going to have a total of 8 single crochets at the end of this row. Okay, so once we reach the end of row number 1, we are going to chain up 1, and this chain 1 does not count as a stitch. We are going to make an increase in the first stitch. That means we are going to place 2 single crochets in the first stitch. Then we are going to make 1 single crochet into the next 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then in the last stitch we are going to make an increase once again. So 1 and 2. So at the end of row number 2, I have a total of 10 stitches. Row number 3, chain up 1 and turn your work. An increase in the first stitch. One single crochet into the next 8 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And into the last stitch I'm going to make an increase again. And at the end of row number 3, I have a total of 12 single crochets. Chain up 1, turn your work. Row number 4, the same thing, increase into the first stitch. 1 single crochet into the next 10 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then an increase into the last stitch, and we have a total of 14 single crochets. Now we are going to keep repeating this until we have a total of 18 single crochets. So chain up 1, turn your work. Increase into the first stitch. 1 single crochet all the way to the second last stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then an increase into the last stitch that is going to give us a total of 16 single crochets for this row. And this is what your work looks like so far. Chain up 1, turn your work. Now this is going to be our last row for the increases. So an increase into the first stitch, 1 single crochet into the next 14 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and an increase into the last stitch, and we have a total of 18 single crochets at the end of this row. So we're going to chain up 1, and for the next 2 rows we are going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch. That means that we are going to maintain a stitch count of 18 single crochets for the next 2 rows. Like so. This is a very, very easy pattern, and it works up fairly quickly. I've made this with thinner yarn like DK weight yarn as well, using a 3.5 millimeter crochet hook, and the size is small, but it looks really cute. Like, it is something that you can make for your markets, because for me it sells quite good. So if you want to test it, maybe make like 2 or 3 of these and then check the water, and if it sells for you, make more for the next one. Okay, so I'm trying to make this video without a cut because I want to show you that it works up fairly quickly, like for say half an hour for one. But that really does depend on how fast or how slow you crochet. My testers were somewhere around 25 minutes to 40 minutes. So okay, for the next row you're going to chain up 1, turn your work, start with an decrease, 1 single crochet all the way to the 3rd last stitch. So it's going to be 1 single crochet into the next few stitches, and into the last 2 stitches you're going to make a decrease again, and you're going to have a total of 16 single crochets for this row. Like so, and then a decrease. Turn your work. Again, start with a decrease, and we are also going to end this row with a decrease and have a total of 12 single crochets. 14 single crochets. I also have a written pattern for this stingray, and I will be posting the link in the description down below. I have recently started a shop on Ko-fi. Okay, once again the same thing for the next row. Decrease, start with a decrease and end with a decrease to get a total of 12 single crochets. Like so, and let's end with a decrease. Chain up one, turn your work. Again, start with a decrease, single crochet into the next 8 stitches, and then let's end with a decrease. You have a total of 10 single crochets now. Now for this row, once you reach your 10 single crochets, what you're going to do is you're going to make 2 decreases in the start. So 1 and 2, single crochet into the next 1, 2 stitches, and then we are going to make 2 more decreases, and that's going to leave us with a total of 6 single crochets for this row, like so. Chain up one, turn your work. Now you're going to make a decrease into the first 2 stitches, 2 single crochets after that, and then a decrease. So we have a total of 4 single crochets now. Chain up one, turn your work, a decrease, and then another decrease, and we have a total of 2 single crochets now. Chain up one, and then we are going to make 2 decreases. Now this is the top of my stingray. Okay, for the bottom I had already made off camera. What I did was that I started off with the bottom and then I made the top, because I want to connect my stingray with the top color. So what you're going to do is that place your top and bottom on top of each other like so. Chain up one and start joining them with single crochets like so. Just place a single crochet wherever you find a space. There is no specific number because we want to join these 2 parts. Just make sure that you don't place a lot of single crochets, because then it's going to get a little frilly and fluffy. Now, as this is a no-sew version, I am using single crochets to join it. But if you think this is difficult for you and you're having a hard time doing it, you can always leave a long tail for the top and use it to sew it together, whatever tickles your fancy. Like, I don't like sewing, so I prefer joining with a single crochet. Okay, so now I'll tell you when and where to place the eyes. Okay, so we've reached the part of the mouth of our stingray. Okay, so here is where I'm going to place eyes, but I prefer placing the eyes after I sew this part. That way the eyes do not hinder me joining. Okay, I've reached the midway of the mouth, so I'm going to place the first eye. I'm going to place my first eye between row 2 and 3 in the corner, like so. One eye done. Sorry, let's continue sewing. And I am going to tuck my tails inside my ray so that I don't have to do it later. I just have one tail left to do later. That is going to be the one I'm going to finish with. Okay, so this is how you're going to keep joining, like so. And now it's time for us to place the second eye. Now this, again, this is how I like to do it. If you like to place them before you join, please go ahead and do so. There's no hard and fast rule. As long as you are enjoying what you're doing and as long as you think that you can work with the eye at its place already, go ahead and do it. Now, if this video has gone too long for you, please feel free to skip through or maybe increase the speed in the settings. Okay, so we're almost done. Remember that we are going to stuff the stingray very, very lightly because stingrays are like basically flat and we don't want to puff them up. Okay, we're almost there. Hang in there. Almost done. Okay, now this is where I'm going to stop, and okay, so this is where I'm going to stop and stuff my fish. Get your stuffing, very little stuffing. Like, I'm going to start with a half of what I just took out and stuff. Go to the side fins, stuff them I think I'll take the other half as well and go to this side of my fins to stuff them as well. I just want the fins, like the side of my stingray, to be pronounced so that it looks like the stingray. Basically, it's more like it looks flat from the front, and the sides are a little pronounced, though the sides are flat as well. But this is amigurumi. It's going to look like a splatter without any stuffing, so I'm going to take a tiny bit more, and that is it. After I'm done closing and making the tail and everything, I am going to fix the stuffing inside, like press it and push it here and there. Okay. Continue closing. Like so. Okay, so once we reach the last stitch, the pointy part, you are going to make a single crochet there, and then chain up 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Oops. 10 and 11. Now into the second chain from the hook, you're going to make a slip stitch, and you're going to make a slip stitch all the way down. That means you're going to have a total of 10 slip stitches all the way down, and then you're going to slip stitch in the single crochet you made, and you're going to slip stitch into the next stitch like so. And this is where you fasten your work off, leaving a tail to sew in like so. This is what your stingray looks like. Okay, now if you want, you can embroider a mouth here using black yarn. But I don't usually do that because it doesn't really show. And here's your stingray. If you've liked this pattern, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, please subscribe and share the video. Comment if you have any questions. I will be leaving the link to the written pattern in the description box down below, and I'll be coming up with another really cute video maybe next week or real soon. Till then, take care, bye bye, and happy crocheting!